welcome to Fat Quarter Shop live stream. Today I'm so excited. I've been sewing in my sewing room, and so I have a lot of stuff to show you. It's all new Lori Holt stuff, so it's kind of a mix of like stuff that's in stock now, stuff that's in the future, a new It's So Emma book, but I just wanted to show you all new Lori Holt stuff that we have because, you know, I'm a huge fan, so I love it. So the very first thing is Lori has these quilt seed patterns. They are published by Riley Blake. And so this is kind of a newer thing that she's doing with Riley Blake. And with each of her collections, she comes out with these patterns. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the patterns and then the blocks. So in the Hometown collection, there are 9 patterns. Each time they will be different number of patterns in different sizes. So these are 16 inches finished. So there are 9 houses. So I'm going to show them to you. And I'll show you how they're packaged. I'll show you what we're offering at Fat Quarter Shop. So we're offering these as individual patterns if you just want to make one house. We're selling a set of all 9 patterns. In the patterns, I'll just open one. Basically, they're really cool because you can reclose them. And they're meant to look like vintage seed packets. And so when you open it, you get the pattern. It's professionally printed. And in the inside, like the front, shows you all of them. So if you buy just one and you want to have a matching one, you can easily see without having to go online to see it. And the pattern is in color. And then what Lori meant is for stores to be able, there's enough room, so if you're a quilt shop, you could put your fabric in there. But I wouldn't want my pattern bent, so I'm going to show you what we did instead. So we kitted all of these up individually. So we have 9 of these. And you can tell our smallest piece we put on them is a 10 by 10. So pretty big pieces, and you'll have some leftovers. Now, a lot of you have already asked for a setting for this. So there are 9 blocks, 16 inches finished. Lori's going to design a finishing, and then I'm going to turn these blocks into that finishing. She hasn't drawn it yet, as far as I know. So more information on that will come when she has it. But I wanted to talk a little bit about the blocks because these are so cute. So I always get a little bit jealous when Lori does something really cute like her Hometown applique, so simple shapes. I love it, but I don't want to applique. So when we got the quilt seeds, Teresa went ahead and stopped everything she was doing and sewed all of these for me. So luckily, Teresa sewed them for me. Now, I asked Teresa a lot of questions. She said these take about 5 to 8 hours each. I think that's a little long. I could probably do it much quicker. But I think she was trying to test the pattern at the same time. And she said, I was thinking they were beginner friendly, and she said intermediate to advanced just because of the number of pieces. So I'm going to show you, there is definitely in our kits at Fat Quarter Shop, there's enough fabric to starch in our kits. I can only speak for our kits. And I'm going to kind of show them to you. And I'm assuming since there's 9, she'll probably do some type of layout of 3 by 3. These would also be really cute in a table runner. And so if you look at these, the house is the same each time. The barn is different. And so one thing Teresa mentioned is, you know, some of them are easier. Some of the blocks are easier and some of them are harder. And when Teresa sews, she doesn't use any kind, you know how I always use triangle paper, I use foundation paper, I do the Eleanor Burns Flying Geese method. Teresa doesn't do any of that. So that could be why it takes her a little bit longer. But I'll just show you how she starched. But I love these. So I just wanted to show them to you. Super cute. And let's see, yeah, so she pressed everything open. And it looks like they all have the same background at the top, but then the window and the door and the block obviously is different. And in each pattern is the individual house pattern. So if you bought one, you don't have to You don't have to go and download that somewhere else. And we do have the fabric. I'm going to show you the fabric. But next, I'm going to show you another quilt kit. One of our quilt kits did already sell out. So sorry about that. But I'm going to show you some other things. But I'm so excited about this because I love all of Lori's things and I love houses. And this is, what I like about this is if we sew it up into a big quilt, I can put it on the back of my couch because these are the colors that I have in my house. So that is like, for me, it's a win-win because it makes it, for me, in my house, it would go all year. Not everyone's house, but you know, mine. This next quilt is a prepackaged kit. So the quilt seeds are published by Riley Blake, and we kitted those here. And we included a little bit more fabric than called for, just because that's what we do at Fat Quarter Shop. Now this quilt we borrowed from Riley Blake. This one is called Friendship Star Table Topper. It finishes at 40 inches and it has the pattern and fabric to make the topper, backing fabric, and any notions are not included, but the box is so cute and it's got a magnetic snap. So that's really cool. So if you're on a retreat, you can put stuff in it and then, you know, if it tumbles in the car, it won't fall out. So in here is the pattern. Now, one thing about these kits that Riley Blake does is they keep the pattern exclusive to the kit. So this pattern I can only offer you in this kit. I can't offer it separately. The pattern has 2 charm packs. It's like fits perfectly in there. So I don't know if you could starch this. This is the only thing I don't know. 2 charm packs. 4 backgrounds and your binding. And so your backgrounds are right here. It's you kind of can't see it because it's quilted, so I'll open it. Well, maybe I won't. I'm gonna kind of cheat and look in the pattern and see if you can starch. I don't think you can. Let's see. Oh, it doesn't say the finished size. Yeah, I don't think you can starch. Now, the only way, if I made this, I would starch and just change the dimension of these to, instead of 5 inches, being 4 inches. But that's just me. But super cute box. So this one, again, Riley Blake kit. It is called Friendship Star Table Topper and has an exclusive pattern, 2 charm packs, the background and binding. I'm going to show you the backing that Riley Blake put on theirs, and then I wanted to kind of show you their fun little label. So anytime Riley Blake sends us a quilt to borrow, well, basically we borrow it and ship it back. They always put a library of RBD and the year. So I don't know who sewed it, and I don't know who quilted it. So I would give them credit, I just don't know. And then this is the fabric. So this collection is called Hometown. There are 46 different SKUs. Do y'all want me to lay out the fabric? Like open it and lay it out? If y'all do, I will. I'm just gonna kind of wait and see. Now in this collection, the Fat Quarter bundle sold out, but we have more that should arrive next week or today. We have all of the pre-cuts. So we have, you know, like the layer cake, the roly-poly, the charm pack, all of that. So we have all of these in stock. Anything of Hometown that is sold out will be back in stock. Oh, they're saying yes. Okay, so I'll show it to you. And this one, I'm probably gonna make a second quilt in this. I'm not sure what, but I am planning on it. So this one is similar to one she's done before, but the one that she did before, I believe, was a much bigger scale. So it's basically vintage patterns that she reproduced here, little dresses. And there's the pebble and then the pink. And then these 2 dainty flowers are so pretty. So these are the ones that were in that kit I just showed you. And then she's got more of a ditzy print. Triangle paper on that pattern, I don't know that it would work. So I'm not sure that that would work. Okay, so there's that colorway. I'll start there. I love this fabric. And I actually, when I show you my stitch along or sew along progress, I have sewn lots with this. So in the blocks were sewn by Teresa, but I sewed some of my scrappy blocks. So I sewed some scrappy strings, rail fence, bitty brick house. So you'll get to see those soon. They're here, but we're just kind of breaking up our live stream so that I have content each week and so I don't kill myself. But I get to tell you in a little bit what I did last weekend. It was so fun. And then I'll tell you all the mistakes I made so that you guys can make fun of me for. But I love these. So this is 46 SKUs. I am going to show the autumn collection and talk about that at the end. And I am going to talk about B dots also. So those are the 3 collections I will be talking about and showing today. The insert block on Lori's home block, I will have to measure. We'll get the block and I'll measure it. Since I didn't sew it, I don't know. And on this, one thing I did want to mention when I was working with this collection, it's 46 SKUs, and I think this is the biggest collection she's done yet. And it was really nice because there are like 4 different shades of greens and blues. So you've got like, you know, this is one shade, this is different, lots of shades. So when I was building my scrappy blocks, I had a lot of room to play, if that makes sense. So that's the collection. And this arrived like 2 weeks ago. Let's see. It's 8.5. And this is how perfect Teresa sews. Look at that. Zoom in, Jordan. Her block is exactly 8 inches. Mine are never exact. But she doesn't use any kind of special tools. You know how I'm always using paper, blah, blah, blah. She doesn't do that. She just sews just like the pattern says. She doesn't make anything bigger. She doesn't, the one thing she does similar to me is the pressing open. But other than that, I mean, you know, so it's just kind of amazing. The Hometown and Fat Quarter the Fat Quarter bundle will be back in stock next week. We sold out of those, and so sorry about that. We will have those back in stock next week. I'm keeping these in order. Maybe they'll just have to come home with me. Maybe not. I already have some at home. I have my fabric. I had to go buy a bunch more containers at Container Store because I have so much fabric, and then I had to get rid of some, and then I already kind of feel like I already filled it back up. So on the Friendship Star, I will show you the backing again. It is, I believe, it's a wide. It's a 108, and I will show that to you in a little bit. So this is, so each group that Lori does, she does one home deck print. That's kind of a newer thing. So her home deck print this time was Hometown Quilt Labels Panel. It is wide, so it's 36, and I think it's wider. I think it's by 60. I'm not sure. You'll have to look online, but it did sell out. But I will have more next week or the week after. So lots of stuff sold out this time. So this one's selling better. This is my favorite one right here. And you can see that on these labels, like this matches Autumn Love. This matches, you know, her cherry group. So these kind of match different groups from the past also. This group, she did a cheater print. So this one is a 44-inch wide. It did sell out. See, so sorry. All of this kind of sold out in the last couple of days, but we will have more come. So this one is a cheater print. It is 40, you know, the traditional 44 inches wide, and you could put it on the back, or you could just cut a 1/4 inch away and cheat and have a wedding ring block. So really cute. So more will come next week. And this one is just regular cotton. It's not home deck. And each of the, if you look at the wedding ring, there are 4 different backgrounds in each. Here, and then it continues out here. So you could make a cool, you could basically cut one out, quilt it, you could hand quilt it even, and make it a pillow, and then somebody would think you sewed all those pieces together, which is really fun. And keep asking your questions, all the questions. I'm going to answer all the questions. This group does not have a low volume fat quarter bundle. Some of them do. This one didn't have enough to do that. Okay, these are the 108s. So this one right here is the fabric that was on the back of that friendship star. So the colors of this are sea glass, daisy, coral, and it's just the 108 in Hometown. And I do have this in stock, so that's cool. And then I know a lot of you are asking about the Hometown sew along, so we're going to pop that image up. And we pre-sold that. This one will be shipping if you bought it from us in a couple of weeks. We are just waiting for Lori and Riley Blake to finalize the cutting guide, because we like to include that cutting guide in our kits because it ends up being a lot of pages. And because it is so many pages, I don't want y'all to have to buy a kit and then print out 20 pages. So we're waiting for that. And you will need the So Simple shapes. Now, I was gonna kind of show this, leave that up, and then I'm gonna show you one of the house blocks. So this is obviously the applique version I was referring to earlier, and since I don't applique, I'm so excited. So, you know, very similar, very different, but you know, they're both beautiful. I would love to have the applique one, but I would not love to spend the time to do it. So that is the problem. Now the Hometown sew along finishes at 75 by 84. So if you reserve that, you can, you will get it soon. We're just waiting on the cutting guide, and the sew along doesn't start until like the very end of September. So you have plenty of time. Now, all of Lori's collections have design boards. Some of these have sold out, but they're on order. 7-inch, 10-inch, 14-inch, 18-inch. And the fact that I know that is ridiculous because I have these all over my house. My kids are like, oh my gosh. So some of these sold out, but we will have more, and these are my favorite ones. And then each collection, she does a binder, a beekeeper binder. So this is the binder. This is available separately. So you buy this as a set, and what you do is you unzip it and you open this and you put your So Simple shapes in here, and then that way, this is a 3-inch binder, which is super big, but the reason she does it is like you could do all your like autumn love in here, all of your Hometown in here, all of your bee dots in here. So these are much thicker. So they're really thick. They're very vinyl-y. So that's the new one. The mug is so cute. So these mugs always sell out. It's a tin mug. You can't wash it in the dishwasher. But it's a little housey house. So cute. Love it. And then her charms, you know, she always has lots of charms for your bags. So she's got a birdie, pineapple, sheep, and this one's the one that sold out, but we will have more any day. One thing about Lori, I don't think she'd mind if I told you, but she plays cards a lot. Sometimes I'll call her and she'll be like, oh, I'm playing cards with my family, and then I have to call her back. Or she'll have to call me back. So, oh my gosh, these are so cute. I gotta show you. The Joker. Look how cute they are. They're different quilt blocks. Oh my gosh, they're so cute. So cute. It makes me want to play cards. Except I don't know how, really. I just know how to play blackjack. Which, I will say it's one thing that I don't do anymore. I used to gamble before I had children. These are her washi tapes, and then this is her project box. Now the project box is clear, and we sold out of it in 24 hours. I had no idea it would sell out, but basically you put your little projects in it. So as you're working on it, you keep your projects in it. It's very lightweight. The calendar is the only thing that hasn't arrived yet, And that is the front of the calendar. It will be shipping, this will be shipping in the end of August, early September, so it's not available yet from Riley Blake. So that is the Hometown collection. What I'm going to do is answer all the questions you have on Hometown so I don't get them confused with the next two collections. Oh, great question. Shelly asks, how do you clean the design boards? After a while, they get thread and fabric strings on them. I want to clean that off. Okay, so what I do is a lint roller would be one, and I literally pick them off. And I've never had one, to be honest, I've never had one that I've had to throw away. They do get kind of dirty. I have one from when Christopher was like 2 years old and he drew a pencil line all over it, and I still use it. So it does get kind of dirty, but so these are new. But yeah, I've never gotten rid of them. I kind of just get used to the dirtiness, I guess. But I use a lint roller is the name of it. Okay. Is the Friendship Star beginner friendly? Yes. Any chance of a Happy Charms club? We'll write that down. I need to think through that because she has so many different charms. You would be broke. You would get like 100 charms a year, and then y'all would call me and say, you sent me too many charms. I'd have to figure out how to space them out. Elaine asks, do you think the wedding quilt would piece together for a quilt and look continuous like it was pieced? Kind of. You'd have to really, you'd have to join the ends together and account for seam allowance, but it could be done. Does the calendar include patterns? Will you go to the website? I don't think it does, but I'm gonna read the website description. Since I haven't seen one, we're gonna just see if it says. I don't think it does. No, it's just a fun, I do think it uses probably features blocks and other quilts, but there's no patterns. This is a great question. Diane says, how do you clear out your fabric when you're finished with it? So, okay, you know how you watch Marie Kondo? So like if you haven't touched something in so many years, get rid of it, right? Like if you haven't worn a shirt in a year, give it to Goodwill, that kind of thing. I'll wait like 3 years. If I haven't used it, then I'll get rid of it. Now, sometimes if I make a quilt, like I have been using Sun Washed and Simply Delightful over and over and over. So when I'm done with that, I might just bring that to work because I'm done with it. I've made like 5 quilts with it. I don't need any more. But I keep it by designer, and then, you know, after a while I'll clean it out. When I basically I don't have any room for stuff to go, when stuff starts piling on the floor, then I just get rid of stuff and I give it away as giveaways, give it to employees or whatever. I don't throw anything away. On the 10-inch pack, 42, and the 5-inch pack, 42. Are the low volumes in the fat quarter bundle? No. Okay, what fabrics do you use for Moda Blockheads 5? So Moda Blockheads is going to be starting up in like September. I haven't decided. I haven't seen any blocks. So as soon as I see the blocks, I will decide. So I actually don't have an answer for you other than I know I will use Moda, and I was hoping to maybe use Lighthearted. Those are the only 2 things, but I haven't seen any blocks. I have no idea. So I'll wait until I get some blocks. Am I getting more project boxes? Yes, probably late August. What SKUs are not in the pre-cuts? So that is decided by Riley Blake, but I can show you. I think it's the backgrounds. I think it's these, the backgrounds. Can we buy the fabric only? Yes, we have everything by the yard. The new, okay, with Lori Holt's new autumn line, will I be rekitting Autumn Love? No, but there is a lot of kits, so you will have plenty of kits to keep yourself busy. Okay, so I'm going to show you kind of some little behind the scenes stuff of what I did this weekend. I'm going to start with the book and my little spreadsheets. Okay, so this is a brand new pattern that's coming out in September, and it's published by It's So Emma, designed by Lori Holt. Okay. So we pride at Fat Quarter Shop and It's So Emma, we pride ourselves on having really nice instructions. You know, we try to make them better than anybody else's. Kevin and I always say, it's not good enough to be good. It's not good enough to be great. You have to be like the ultimate. And that's something that we're always talking about with our kids, that they think we're crazy. But not to sidetrack. So I will not publish a pattern until it has been made. Well, we got some sample yardage, and you guys are going to get to see that. And I'm going to go to a retreat, and I kind of looked at this pattern and thought, oh, that's going to be too hard at a retreat. I made this quilt. I'm going to let y'all guess how many days it took me to make this quilt. Now, it's not all pieced together, but it's in blocks. But I had a lot of fun. So we're going to show a pop-up of, this was Friday night. So basically, each of those boards is a different section of the book. So like each one is a different section, and I have design boards on the floor. I cut the entire quilt in 5 hours. Now to do that, and then that's kind of like okay, go back to the first one. The first one's just cut. The second one is my second step, where I go through and do all of my triangle paper, all of my flying geese, like stitches, and then kind of start assembling the blocks. So you can see kind of in the bottom left, I've got, you know, my half square triangles. So just to show you that. And then my third picture is Will. So Will helped me a ton. He laid out every single block, and he handed me every single fabric to cut. So thank you to Will. I don't know what I'm going to do when my kids go back to school. And he did say to me this weekend, what are you going to do when I go to college? I was like, I don't know. Okay, so to talk through what I did, I needed to figure out the most efficient way to piece this and test the pattern so that we could start printing this. So I made a spreadsheet. I love spreadsheets. And I wrote out every block, and this is the background cutting for the entire quilt. And I sat there, I sorted it by size. So like these are my biggest, these are my triangle papers, biggest to smallest. And I sat there, and that made it efficient because I just cut the whole background all at once. After I cut the background, I went and cut every single print. So I went in and did every single print, put them on all those boards. And I'm gonna show you my blocks. The size of this quilt is 76 by 89. Okay, Linda wins 2 to 3 days. It took me, I started Friday night, I finished Saturday night I started Friday around 3 p.m. I finished Saturday at 12:30 at night. I did make 3 major mistakes in the quilt that I'm gonna show you, and that's what happens when you go fast. So the fabric collection in the Quilted Witch is called B Dots. It will be shipping in fall, so it's starting September. The kit we're offering at Fat Quarter Shop has the pattern and the fabric for the quilt top and the binding. There is pumpkin trim that's going to go in the binding, but that is not available in the kit. It is available as a separate item because not everybody's going to want to put that binding in here. And then cut and pieced my binding. Teresa did this for me, actually. So this is your binding fabric that's included in the kit. And then I used all of the Quilted Witch foundation paper. So this is not in stock yet. It's a coming soon item, but we basically list in the pattern which blocks you use with which. So right here, it tells you the block name and what paper, but the pattern is written where you don't need any paper because most people are not crazy like me and use that paper. But the only way I can get a quilt done in 2 days is to do that. And I didn't leave the house. I didn't leave the house from Friday to Tuesday, and it was like amazing. I was like, oh my gosh, this is like my life. I love it. I didn't have to go anywhere. It was so nice. Okay, so for the backing for this, it's the 108 backing was not available for sample yardage. So we're putting this on the back. This is from Prim. It's a 108 wide green plaid, WB9079. WB9709 green. I think I said it wrong. And then this is my little Sweetwater label. We're just gonna sew that on there before we send it to the quilter, and we're gonna starch this. Everything was starched. Your kit should have plenty of fabric, because I made a lot of mistakes. I'm gonna get to show them to you. But I basically, the goal was test the pattern, get it done, and then Monday we would lay it out on the floor at work and fix anything that was wrong, because that is the most efficient way that we can do things. And you do not have to have any kind of paper. Even for the needle, you don't even need a notion. I put that in there for people like me who stitch like me, but you do not have to have it. That's just the only way I can do it. So this is kind of, I'm gonna kind of show you, it's built in sections. So basically, you're gonna see the quilt build down. There's a big left section and then a big right section, and everything is in sections. So this is like, you know, section 1. And I will say this has purple, but that's okay. I dealt with it. It's cute. So that's section 1. I'm gonna kind of put them over here. I'm going down. This is section 2. So you can see this right here, section 2. So this quilt is definitely doable. I would say it's intermediate. You just have to take your time and read the instructions. So that's section 2. I'm going to kind of pile them just so you can kind of visually see how it's done. This is section 3. Okay, this is one where I made a mistake. And I ran out of fabric and I was like, something's wrong. Yeah, I made double the amount of half square triangles. So when I'm cutting for an entire quilt, I didn't, you know, I went fast, and in 5 hours the entire quilt was so anyway, I have I think 28 extra half square triangles. They're now in my half square triangle bucket. But even with that, I still was able to make the whole quilt, even though I messed up. So that was awesome. Not awesome that I messed up, because that could have saved me like an hour with all those extra half square triangles. And this quilt I did not press open. I pressed, well, these are pressed open. Very little of this quilt is pressed open. I pressed according to the pattern, and most of it is just pressed to one side. And then below the kitty cat is right here. And so basically the way this works also is these are stars that are built one by one. So for example, this star you make a lot of times. This one you make so many times. You know, you're gonna see a lot of the stars made over and over, and they're made at the beginning of the book. So example, these two are the same, different fabrics. You make them at the beginning of the book, and then your assembly is putting all these together. But I kind of wanted to just show you how it builds so that you know that you can do it. It's not as hard as it looks. And then here's your broom, the bottom of, what is this, broomstick? Broom? I don't know, it's the broom. I don't know, wherever you, oh, and then this, I used flying geese paper. There's zero chance I could make a flying geese that looks like that without paper, or the Eleanor Burns flying geese method. So when you look at the quilt, basically, just so you visually can see, this right here is what I just showed you. Teresa uses the same machine as I do and the same exact presser feet. She actually uses one of my personal machines at work, and so she uses the Juki 2010 QL. So that's the left side of the quilt. Now we're going to move to the right side, which is much wider, so it'll be harder to see all of it. And it's not going to, I mean, this quilt's pretty big, so obviously it's right here. This is your first row at the top. And so you see the same blocks again. You make a lot of star blocks and you intermix them. Now this one is where I made all the mistakes. This is where we get into mistakes. Okay, this one was the easiest block in the whole quilt. So that was the one that I did last. When I'm making a quilt, I go in order of the book. But then I kind of get sidetracked. I saved this one to the very end because it was the easiest, and I knew at midnight I was going to be tired. I actually have not stayed up past midnight in years, so I don't know. I just had to get it done. But Will was helping me, and so I was like, oh, I'm going to finish. Okay, so this is the mistake I made right here. I accidentally put this in this way. The pattern is correct, but I was sewing fast. So Teresa fixed that for me. And then this I was so worried about. This was so easy to do. You don't need a template. I don't know how our team figured out how to make this work, but they did, and it worked perfect. So you don't need a template. That's super exciting because I was a little bit concerned about that. But this was the second mistake. The first mistake I made is making too many half square triangles. This one, I had this one wrong. So then you have the witch's head, and then we're gonna move to like her blouse, shirt. This one took the longest. Okay, so this one, I made a mistake on this twice. The first mistake I made is I made it in the wrong color, put the wrong fabric. The second thing is when I put it, so then Sunday morning I had to rip this out and put it back in. Well, when I put it back in, I put it in reverse. So then Teresa had to rip it out and then flip it. But this one took the most amount of time just because the pieces are bigger and it's a lot of joining, like, you know, it's just a lot going on. And then my other mistake I made is not really a mistake, but this is the dress of the witch. And you can see the stars up here. I had 2 fabrics reversed. I don't know, it was like one of these reversed. But really, did we have to fix that? No, I just wanted the pattern to match. So that was one mistake. And then this is the bottom. So this is the other end of the broom. So the broom is green and then the handle goes this way. The boots were really fun to make. And then these, oh my gosh, this took a while because I had to really pay attention. And so you have like different, like see the backgrounds are different sizes. And so I had to really pay attention so that I got them the right way. Hopefully they're all correct. And then this is my length of fabric. So I do my borders length of fabric. I cut this before I cut anything. And you'll see on my spreadsheet, I listed that first because I cut that and then from there cut everything else. So let me know what questions you have on the Quilted Witch. But this is it's a booklet. It is going to be available as a PDF also. I would not recommend buying the PDF though. It's 62 pages. That would be a nightmare to print. It's going to be a kit, and we are pre-selling the kit. It will ship in September. What I wanted to show you was Lori also made a Quilted Witch cross stitch, and it's so cute. And I really want to show you the cross stitch next to the skirt. There's something to talk about there. So this is ginormous, pretty big. So the stitch count's pretty big. I mean, it's 176 by 213. This finished is 14 by 17, so really big. And I did put glass in it, and we framed it in a really wide frame. Let's see, I think it's 4 inches. Oh no, it's 2.5. I'm off. So what I wanted to show you, Jordan's gonna zoom in right here. So obviously on the skirt here, your fabric talks because it's got all the different shapes. So here she made this took forever. This is like, I think it's like 17,000 stitches or 12,000 stitches, some kind of crazy amount of stitches right here. Cheryl stitched this for us. I'm going to be stitching this in October, and framed this locally with museum glass. So that's really fun. And it's pretty close. I mean, you know, you've got the same shoes. It follows the quilt exactly. Hopefully when I'm stitching it, I won't be in such a rush. But I mean, you can see it's, you know, so cute. For the Quilted Witch, do you give cutting instructions for cutting if you're going to use the paper? No, but no, we don't, because that would make the book too big. But we tell you what to do here. I mean, all you have to do is know which block you're on, and then you can figure it out. How do you decide where to place the label on your 108 before sending it to the quilter due to their loading requirements? So probably on this one, I haven't even thought about it. We'll probably put it in the bottom right, probably 20 inches up and 20 inches to the left, and then it'll be somewhere in the middle. And I have to use the hot hammer and then fold it down, stitch it over. that kind of thing, but we just kind of guess, I guess. Question, I like to starch like Kimberly Jolly. I'm in a hurry for backing today, so I starched and ironed lightly to help with shrinkage. If I switch to starching this way, can I mix fabrics I've starched heavily? Yes, it might shrink a little bit differently. I'm going to give you a little tip. It's a new thing I'm doing. This is probably not the best advice I should ever give, but okay, I'm always in a hurry, right? That's how I get so much stuff done. So my new thing is, if I have a fabric that I need to starch, I starch it all the way through. I put it on my drying rack. One of my kids goes and gets my hair dryer, and they stand there and they hair dry it. And they do not like that. So that's my new thing, because if you start putting your iron on that starch, it's going to turn the fabric brown. Your iron's going to get film on it. So you can get the same effect by using a hair dryer. It takes a long time though. What fabric did I use for cross stitch witch? Prim 25 count Lugana by Lori Holt. What pin did I use for the Lori Holt panel? Oh, okay, you would use a, what is it called? Pigma brand. Pigma Permanent. And then you could, the different points, I mean, I'd probably use like a 0.5. I need my toddler grandkids to grow up so I can put them to work and help me set up blocks before I piece. I plan on paying them with ice cream. Oh, I pay mine with hard money cash. They get paid a lot of money because I mean, you know, I need their help, and that's the only way you can bribe the kids these days. Or I take Will to, he doesn't want money. I take him to Barnes & Noble. He likes to read. So then he gets to pick whatever he wants, and then he picks something like $10. Okay, so I'm going to move on from Quilted Witch. If you have questions, just pop them in. So we started with Hometown. We went to B Dots. Now I'm going to show you Autumn, which is the next collection. So Hometown is in stock. B Dots is going to be here in September. Autumn is going to be next April. The December group I've already shown you. And I didn't have anything like, you know, sewn to show you. So. And then from here, Teresa's going to sew these together, and we're going to send this quilt to Maggie Honeyman. And we have already started printing the books. The books, it takes a long time to print. So we're starting to print those now. And Octavius prints the books for you guys, so you know who does that. And one thing I did want to point out is this background. When I started sending photos to Lori, she was like, I know this background is really busy for you, but I think it looks good. And it does. It looks great. I would have been scared to use this background, but it comes out great. So sometimes I just need to trust Lori. Can you put the starched fabric in a clothes dryer? Yeah, I bet you could. Yeah, that'd be a good idea. That's probably a better idea than the air dryer. Okay, so kind of like I've talked about before, you know, sales reps come and they sell you fabric. And Riley Blake, each company sells differently. So Riley Blake sells to us on paper, which is this paper. So this is what I have. 4 or 5 or 6 years ago, Lori had a group called Autumn Love. I still have lots of things that I decorate with in that collection. So her second collection, it's just called Autumn. And it's got a lot to it. The other collection had 40 plus SKUs. This one has 52. So her collections are getting larger. And I'm going to show you all about Autumn. Keep popping your questions in. I will answer all of them. Okay, so I'm going to pretend I'm the sales rep, and I'm going to show you the fabric. So on the front, this one is How to Build a Snowman. This will be her So Simple shapes that you use her interfacing with. This is the one that comes with the cutting guide, and then you go to her blog. What did I say? How to Build a Scarecrow. What did I say? Snowman. Sorry, How to Build a Scarecrow, sorry. Guys, I'm sorry. Okay, so I'm gonna show you the collection. Okay, So here plus here are your 44-inch wide. There are 52 SKUs. We are selling 1 yard bundles, half yard bundles, fat quarter bundles. You can pre-buy it at Fat Quarter Shop with your backgrounds. This time, because there's 10, we will offer that both as a half yard bundle and as a 1 yard bundle, either way. You can pre-buy any of this at Fat Quarter Shop that are pre-cuts and some of the kits. The yardage is not pre-sold. This time she has 5 108s. I don't think she's ever had 5. This one's my favorite, and it is based, I think her other group had a similar SKU. So again, 52 cotton, 44-inch wide, 5 108. This is going to be her home deck 60-inch wide. So like I showed you the texture of the quilt label panel, this is going to be your cheater. Lori uses her cheater on the fronts of quilts. She also uses it on the backs. Okay. Now we're going to move into quilt kits. They're all different, and I'm going to try to give as much information as each, but they're all different. So the first one is pumpkins and haystacks. Perfect. So that is it on our site, and this is it in the catalog. It comes packaged in this collector box. The templates, the So Simple shapes, there's 4 of them used in this quilt. Those will come with your kit. Your fabric for the top and the binding will come in your kit. I love the scrappiness behind the pumpkin. This is applique. This one is on our coming soon page, so you can click to be notified when it comes in. Again, 64 by 80, super cute. The second quilt is called Autumn Skies. I love it. I'm gonna make it for sure. It's 28 by 42. I always love when Lori does 4 different borders. So 28 by 42, it's going to come in this keepsake box. The pattern on this is exclusive to the box, exclusive to the kit. So the only way to get the pattern for this one is similar to the Friendship Star I showed you earlier. It's separate. And it has the fabric for the quilt top and the binding. You would just have to add the backing. It is on our coming soon page. Click to be notified. Thank you to Trenton Harrell for the super chat. Love that. Thank you so much. Okay, now we're going to move to how to build a scarecrow, not how to build a snowman. Maybe she got that from that movie. So this is her applique quilt that she always does, and she gives you a cutting guide, and then you visit her blog, you visit her YouTube channel throughout the sew along to get all the details. This one finishes at 74 by 87. If you buy the kit from Fat Quarter Shop, we print the sew along guide for you, and we put the fabric for the quilt top and the binding. This one we are pre-selling, so you can pre-buy it and then it ships as soon as we cut it. You will have to have these So Simple shapes to make the little overalls and whatever that farm stuff is. Are those overalls? My grandfather used to wear those. And then these are existing notions. Okay, so that is your applique. Now we move to pieced. So this one I am so excited about. So just like I showed you the Quilted Witch, now we have the Quilted Scarecrow. Now, a couple of years ago, Lori made this cross stitch pattern. Pumpkins for sale. And so she based this scarecrow on this cross stitch. So there won't be a separate cross stitch for this one, or if there will, it'll just have 2. I'm not sure. I could be wrong on that. We might do, I think she is doing a cross stitch. I think that she is doing a cross stitch, but I can't promise. I can't remember. I can't remember everything, guys. I try. I really do try. So this one is designed by Lori Holt, but this one is published by It's So Emma. So this one will be in the same format as the Quilted Witch I just showed you. It is the follow-up to Quilted Witch. It finishes at 80 by 85. It includes the pattern, the little booklet, the fabric for the top and the binding. This one does not have binding in the does not have rickrack in the binding. It does have rickrack in the face as his little smile, so we're including that in our kit. The backing set is sold separately, and you can reserve this kit and this backing. So cute. I love the little jug or whatever this is. What is this called, Jordan? Milk jug. What did you say, Denise? Pail? So cute. Okay. Keep throwing your questions in. I see them. I'm definitely going to answer them. Okay, the second pattern that It's So Emma is publishing for Lori is called Crows in the Corn. So this will be available as a paper pattern, as a PDF pattern. Finishes at 69 by 77. This will also be a quilt kit. You can click to be notified, and there is a backing set that you can click to be notified. Yeah, I'm going to show Autumn Love real quick too. Okay, so this again, Crows and the Corn by Lori Holt. I want to show Autumn Love because this collection is going to go so well if you stitch the Autumn Love cross stitch last year. And here it is. So it matches. So anyway, my house, I'm telling you girls, girls and guys, my house is going to be decorated so good with fall. I feel like I decorate the best for fall. Like my house is on fire in fall. And you know, I was so excited because the other night I went to a drill team meeting, and one of the moms was like, "Oh, my daughter was at your house and she came home and she told me your house is so color coordinated." And I was so proud of myself. I was like, yes, a teenager thinks my house is decorated good. Thank the Lord. Oh, Lori, this is so funny. She says, Kimberly, whatever that farm stuff is, laughing out loud. Welcome to all my conversations with Kimberly about anything outdoors. Absolutely. I hate to be outside. Hate it. Okay, I'm going to show this. Okay, this one, I'm going to show you last time she did paper. So Lori does foundation paper with us. This is totally different. So we have the heart paper, or we have some kind of paper over there. Okay, so if you go back, Crazy Quilt Paper was her first paper, and this is where you like iron it on the fabric, you cut, and then you piece. You don't stitch on the line. So I wanted to show you, this is going to be similar to that. I obviously don't have a pack of it to show you because it's right here. So she's going to be doing 10-inch pumpkins that look like this. So basically for this quilt, you could either make it scrappy or lighter, tonal, scrappy or tonal. You'll need 2 packs, and then you'll need a 7.5-inch trim it ruler to trim it down. This one is not a kit. It's fat quarter friendly, and 2 pads of paper, and then you add, and we will order extra yardage of both of these prints, so if you want to order it separately. Will there be more half yards for the Liberty Box coupon? We added a second one. If it's not there, email customer service, and we will add another one back. We'll add a third one if we need to. So lots of kits. Let's do the summary. Okay. Kit 1, Pumpkins and Haystacks. Kit 2, Autumn Skies. Click to be notified. Kit 3, How to Build a Scarecrow. You can reserve it now. Pre-buy it now. Reserve it. Kit 4, Quilted Scarecrow. You can reserve it. 5 is not a kit, but it is a pack. Oh, this is a kit. Kit 5, Crows in the Corn. Quilt 6, I'm not kidding, because it's so fat quarter friendly, and then you just need to order this one fabric and then your papers. Now here are the notions. There's more kits. Kit 6, we're going to come back to that, sorry. Okay, so let's talk about notions. She's always has a washi tape. She's going to have an autumn project bag that's 9 by 12. She's going to, I can't wait to get this. This is a Scarecrow needle minder, and she is going to, it's going to be 2 by 5. And with this, I don't use needle minders, confession, sorry, I don't. But I am thinking I am going to put this, like I'm going to stick it to something and use it as decoration in my house. Like find something at Home Goods, glue it down, and it'll just look like some kind of decoration I bought. Her Beekeeper binder is going to be this autumn one. It's that 3-inch wide or 2 3/4 inch wide. We currently have the pocket inserts. This is going to be her enamel mug. So I showed you the Home Sweet Home. This one is going to be this one, and this is the front and the back. 3 different charms. This one says bee, an apple, and sunflower. Dun, da, da, da. More design boards. She always has 8. Okay, and then this year she's doing her planner with Riley Blake. So there are 4 products right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is 2024 Sew and Stitch binder calendar. So it's I don't know if it's a planner, calendar, we'll see when I get it, but basically it's going to have 8.5 by 11-inch pages that you can put in a binder. So you would buy a binder separate. Monthly calendar for 2024, large enough to write in important dates and reminders, 3 hole punch individual pages, fits perfectly in a Beekeeper binder. And so, you know, she's probably had 12 at this point, so you can use any of them. Use with Lori's Busy Bee quilt, stitch, and yarn pages, which I'm about to talk about. Printed in the United States on premium paper. So, scroll down, move down. So this is what you would probably put in the front of your binder. Or if you don't want to do a planner, you can just do these. This is your Busy Bee quilt binder pages. So this is going to have basically your project, your size, your fabrics, all your details for each quilt so that you can go back to it. So similar to our blue book that we always use, it would just be cuter. Then she's going to have stitch binder pages. This would be for your cross stitch. This one is going to be for your crochet, your knitting, your yarn. And I can't read all of it, so I can't read it to you because it's really small. So I'm excited to get one of these. I want to use it. I want a prototype. So there is not going to be a planner with It's Sew Emma this year and Fat Quarter Shop because she's going to do this one with Riley Blake this year. You guys really wanted to do 3-hole punch and binders, and that's not something that we really can do well and cheaply and affordable enough to make it consumer price friendly. We just don't have the volume, and Riley Blake does, so that's why we're doing that. Or this binder right here is gray pebble. Yeah, it's pebble. What do you use washi tape for? Okay, Lori uses washi tape all the time. If you go to Lori's house, she's got washi tape on everything. So she puts it I'm just looking for a piece of paper. So this is kind of, let's pretend this is small. I don't need this paper anymore, so it doesn't matter. So this is how Lori uses it. I'm going to put it on here. Pretend it's pretty. I know it's not. My spreadsheets are not. Is Lori planning on a quilted bunny? I have no idea. Lori, are you planning on a quilted bunny? She's in the chat. I'm probably doing this wrong. But this is what Lori does. She tapes paper down. So she's go all over her house, and she's got stuff on top of stuff on top of stuff because it has to be cute. That's one of Lori's rules. Everything has to be cute. She's going to die when she's going to see what I put in my quilt room yesterday. My son walked in and he said, "Mom, I don't know what you just did, but that's not aesthetically pleasing." And I was like, oh, I have taught my children well. I'm still going to leave it there though. Okay, I am going to answer questions. Keep dropping them in. Okay, so like we talked about 6 quilts. Here's number 7. Okay, so like I showed you the quilt seeds for Hometown, there will be quilt seeds for Autumn. There will be 9. The Hometown ones were 16-inch square. These are 18 by 20. At Fat Quarter Shop, we will sell these individually as patterns. We will sell a set of patterns. We will sell individual kits. And then Jordan's showing them to you so you can kind of see them like more detail. So like I said, there's 9. And then this one is going to be how she sets them. That will be a separate kit. So that will be like kit number 20 or whatever. I'm joking, but so each seed individually is its own kit. Then we will have a kit that has the setting. Then we will also have a backing set. Those are not, they're online as a click to be notified, but can you make sure we have a backing set on there? If I don't have it, I'll add it. This is not priced. It doesn't have a price on it yet because I don't have a pattern to prove to price it. Now I want to show you behind me, behind my left, we had a question on where did this come from? Can we pull it off? This was Quilt Seeds Calico, and it was one of the patterns as part of that series. So just like these are quilt seeds, and did I make this or did Teresa make this? I think I made this. Okay. So this is also quilt seeds. Now this quilt seed is a different size than this quilt seed. So it's not like Lori Holt's books where you can mix and match and put it in. You can, you just have to adjust your sizes a little bit. This one is 16 by 18. This one is 18 by 20. So different sizes. And this one you have to buy the Calico Quilt Seed pattern, and then we have a runner pattern that Lori designed, or I designed, I can't remember. Lori did. That is on Fat Quarter Shop. When will the Quilted Witch kit be available to purchase? September. Actually, you can purchase it now. It's pre-sold now. So it will ship when it comes in. Thank you to Michelle Whiting for Super Chat. I love your Friday videos. Thank you for all you do. You're so inspiring. Give Piggy a belly rub for me. Yes, I will. Okay, I've already answered how big each block is. Deborah, do we get a copy of the list for each block's fabric requirements, the paper you folded? No, that would confuse the heck out of y'all. That is totally like something I do, and I cut things bigger, trim down. That's often like UFO space. Like you don't want anything like that. But then no, that's not available. For autumn seeds, will you have a kit for all 9? No, we sell them individually just because it gets so expensive. Okay, so now I'm going to show you some other notions that we restocked of Lori's that we were out of stock of, but now we have stock. And then I'm going to answer questions, so answer any questions you have. So this is one of her tumblers that I use. This is mine. It's at my desk. So I just thought I would show it to you because I use it, and it's granny square insulated tumbler. I just don't want to drop my tea. And then the zippers, we kind of have gone in and out of stock on these over time, but now we have both in stock at the same time, which is rare. So zippers too. So this was her first colorway. This is more of her brighter colors. This is more of her prim colors. This is so cute. I have this in my sewing room. This is a Sweet Farm recipe box. So cute. And the crazy paper. And I'm showing this today just because I want to show you how you use the paper and how it's different than the It's So Emma foundation paper. So this one, what you do is it's got like a little, like a wax paper-ish on the back, and you put it on your fabric. You cut first, you cut second, and then you piece them back together. So it's like one of those. The Seems So Easy guide came back in stock in sea glass. The red is still out of stock. I'm still waiting on the red. I don't think I ever showed you guys her new Olfa cutter. I don't know how I missed that, but I never showed it to you guys. So this is an Olfa cutter that Lori Holt made, and I don't know if it's limited. I don't know if they keep it forever. I have no idea. It does have her name and her little logo. Our stitch card boxes are behind me, and my Bee's Knees book stands. So like you can decorate with them. And we are going to be giving away at the end 3 stitch card boxes to 3 people. So let me go through the comments real quick and answer any kind of questions you guys have. Is there any chance of selling Lori Holt's rickrack in smaller packaging than the cone? No, it is just, that would take forever. I agree. Kimberly, your shirt is so cute. Where did you get it? Okay, I'm embarrassed to say this. I fell for some Facebook ads and bought some clothes. So Talbot's closed, and I haven't been able to find anything on their website that I love yet. So I bought this. It was like $20, but it came from China. So I feel really bad when it came, but it's really cute, and it was literally $20. So it was some Facebook ad that targeted me. Does the tumbler have a weight? What does that mean?
Like, is it heavy?
Is it heavy? Yeah, it's heavy. It's kind of one of those ones that keeps it cold, if that makes sense. What fabric is Lori using for the backing on her Quilted Witch? Okay, it's not here yet, but I'll read it to you. I will read you the one that is on the back of her pattern. Wide back 14183 milk can. I just didn't have I didn't have it to show because we don't have it yet. Does Lori have any plans for new zipper colors? Lori, there's none on this story. So the thing is, like when she does stuff with Riley Blake, I don't get to see it until all the other stores get to see it. So I don't know. The only thing I get to see in advance is what she designs with It's So Emma. So I don't know of any zippers, but that doesn't mean that she's not working on them because she can't tell me what she's doing. Speaking of calico seeds, I cannot find the setting for it that you showed several weeks ago. It's on our site. Search calico free setting. No, that didn't work. We're going to find it, and I'm going to tell you what to search. Okay, go to fatquartershop.com and search Calico Quilt Seeds Pumpkin Runner, and it's a free PDF. Love Lori Holt quilts. I love Lori's fabric. The paper you cut and put back together, is it a 1/4-inch seam? Yes. I have Lori Holt paralysis. Oh, Lori does have plans for additional zipper colors. Let's see. Is there a computer directions for hometown seed houses? Nope, it's only available on the paper. Will there be more hometown welcome kits? No, they sold out. I tried to get more from Lori Holt. From Riley Blake, and they didn't have any more. Are the patterns included in the hometown kits for the sew along? Okay, so the hometown, let me answer correctly. Okay, so for the hometown houses, they're included in the kits. The hometown sew along, you get a cutting guide, then you follow along with Lori on her site for the instructions, her blog, beinmybonnet.blogspot.com. Will I have a Christmas box this year? Yes. Which eyelet background did you use for Triangles Quilt Along with Lisa Bonjean? It's in here. Do we have some in here, don't we?
Yes, we do.
Hold on. We have some of the blocks in here. So kind of, yes, right there. Okay, we'll figure out what it is. Okay, we'll basically, I'll compare it to the website and we'll figure it out. But, oh, just bring the whole box and I'll show them. So I'm going to retreat in 2 weeks, and so we're planning my retreat. So I'm going to, one of the things I'm going to do at retreat is I'm going to sew all these papers together. I'm going to basically sew all the papers and then wait till I get home to put it apart. So, and I don't have my blue binder with the information because I lost it. I lose stuff all the time. That's one thing, if you know me in real life, I can't find anything. I'm always like telling my kids, where's my phone? Like, because my kids order food on the phone. Like, that's how we order dinner. Not always, but last night we had to because we had 4 kids at 4 different places. So we're going to find this SKU. Of course, I didn't write it down. trying to find it. We are organized, but sometimes we're too organized. Okay, go to the website and just type fig tree eyelet, and I'll try to find it. I know we have it in stock because I bought it. I didn't have it at home. Keep going. Right, stop. Go up. Right there. Nope. Keep going. Oh my gosh, did we sell out of it?
I think so. I can find the SKU.
We're gonna find the SKU, but I think we sold out of it. Well, she's gonna find it on a different page. But this is how I'm taking this. And basically, I have different goals that I put on the front. So basically, you know, I'm gonna do these papers, like basically I have everything in boxes broken out. And we are gonna take pictures next week to put online of how I keep everything organized. I'm probably taking 10 projects at a minimum. And I have 2 exciting projects that I haven't told anybody about. I haven't even told Lori. So I'm going to be doing a surprise. So 2 years ago or a year ago, I made 2 quilts for Will and Peyton that were very complicated that fit the bed. So this year I'm gonna make one for Emma that fits her bed and one for Christopher that fits his bed. And I'm finalizing Christopher's fabrics today so I can starch them. And then Emma's been at camp all week with drill team. And so when she comes home, I'm gonna present her with 5 different quilts and let her pick. But I'm not gonna tell her what it's for. I'm just gonna be like, which one of these do you think would look good? Is the newest Beekeeper binder large enough to hold normal paper? Yes, it's bigger. When using triangle paper, do you buy 6 inches if you want to make a 5-inch block, or do you buy the actual size? So when I use triangle paper, I just cut it off the roll, and then I just lay it on 2 fabrics right sides together and literally take my rotary cutter and cut around it. Is it hard to add rickrack? No, and I can do it. So if I can do it, you can do it. That's kind of, Lori had to tell me I could do it for me to believe I could do it. Oh, can you recommend a pattern of Lori's that would be beginner friendly? Yes. Yes, I'm thinking of one. There's one that we sell that is so cute. A lot of her stuff is beginner friendly. Can you go to the website and type Lori Holt pattern? Sorry, we're still trying to find that SKU. She found it. Just scroll. Okay, so home again is beginner friendly. Keep going. I know what it is, so I'll tell you when to stop. Right there. So Scrappy Spools is beginner friendly. Okay, go to page 2. And then there's one more I'm thinking of. Go back up. Okay, those are the only 2 I can think of right now that are patterns. Okay. So the SKU number is from Harvest Moon by Fig Tree for this quilt. It's 20457-69 and it's in stock. No, it's out of stock. Well, I had a lot of it in stock. I hope I have enough. I had a ton when I had it. Okay, so let's see. Are there suggestions for Lori Holt's fabrics to use for pressed flowers patterns? Pressed flowers patterns. I'm like, can you, Lori, can you answer that one? Pressed flowers. No, I don't think we did a coloring of that one. Yeah, I don't think we did. Are you going to have a spooky box? Yes. So every year we have a Liberty box, Jolly box, Be Mine box. Is that what it's called, Denise? Cupid. Okay, Cupid box, Liberty box, Jolly box, and one more.
Cupid, Liberty, Spooky.
Spooky. Is there a finishing? Okay, let's see. Yes, Scrappiness is Happiness has so many of her beginner patterns. When is the next vintage remix dropping? Jordan? First Monday of every month.
August 7th.
August 7th. Is the Autumn Quilt Seeds beginner friendly? Yeah, I would say it is. The pieces are pretty big. The hometown is not, but the... Okay, go to the question section. I think we're getting to the end of the questions. I think I've kind of covered everything. Yeah, I have. Okay, so we're going to give away 3 of the stitch card boxes, which are right here. 1, 2, 3, to 3 winners. And what I want you to do, and this is kind of, okay, I'm not promising anything, guys. I'm not promising Riley Blake's going to do this, because they're not. But if you could bring back any of, because Lori's been designing fabrics for about 13 years. If you could bring, no, that's a guess, but it's got to be at least 13. It might be 15. What collection would you bring back? My answer is So Cherry. So if you could bring back any collection of hers that's out of print, what would it be? Comment and we will pick winners. And I hope you guys have a great weekend. If you have any questions about anything I showed today, just put them in the comments. We're happy to answer. And I hope all of you have a great weekend. I'll see you next week.